We have cleared out the entire bonus room area. You can see it's nice and big now. We've put all of the equipment and tools and extra wood and everything in storage out here. Also in the bonus room closet, that has been completed. I was also able to finish the molding around the doors that you can see there. It looks great. I actually was able to get that done. I just figured I'd get it completely done because it wasn't a whole lot of time spent to finish the paint around the doors, so it just took like an hour or so. So that worked out really well, and I figured, hey, let's just get it done and we'll be completely done with that closet. So with that being said, let's take a bigger look here. With that being said, we are ready to sand all of the walls and the ceiling, and then we'll be ready to put a second and maybe a third coat of compound on the walls, and then we'll get ready for primer. So another huge milestone that we just got done here today. So we are going to keep this going, and we will give you an update here shortly. We are continuing with the joint compound on the seams, as you can see here, and we made very good progress this evening. You can see we got a nice straight seam. I think we're going to be able to make that the finished seam, which is only 2 coats on this go around. I also got that one there done, and you can see that those are still drying as we've got the contrasting colors there. We've also completed this row here all the way across, and then we also got some corners up there and that small patch there and then that small patch up there. So it was about 3 hours worth of work. I really got into a nice groove. The joint compound is very soupy, which is actually working out very well. It's just making a mess all over the floor because I'm more of a novice at this than anything else. But we're able to get it on. I'm doing the wrong way, of course, just doing it by seams, not in one straight coat across. And then we're kind of flattening those out as best we can. But it's working out very well. It's just going to require a little more sanding to get those down smooth. But we've got nice big seams that are covering that 2.5, 3 inches there. And that's going to smooth out and feather out really nice. Well, that's where we stand right now. So all we have left here is along the ceiling, of course, on the angles. You can see that here. I've got a couple of seams here left to do. I actually timed myself on doing a full 8-foot seam, and it only took about 7 minutes from start to finish, maybe 8 minutes, which was fantastic. That's when I got in that groove I was telling you about earlier. We're hoping that that's going to continue, but we are going to call it a stopping point for now because once again, it's dark out. Until next time, we'll give you an update shortly. Bye. We have reached a pretty big milestone on this bonus room remodel. I have finished all of the joint compound on all of the seams in the bonus room. And it took a while to get to this point for various reasons, but the point is we are there and we are ready to sand, which is what I am about to get ready to do. You can see over here the opening for the storage. I've cordoned off with a sheet so no dust, to minimize the dust getting in there rather. And I'm going to close off this door. We'll probably keep this one open just so I have the extra light. But we are going to start sanding today. I'm going to work from the top down and see how smooth we can get it. I anticipate having to put one more skim coat on areas that will have a little ridges in there from the tape going into the seams, and then just the joint compound recessing a little bit. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. You can see here where it's a little ridge line. If this doesn't sand out very smooth, I'll have to come back through with a very thin skim coat of joint compound to fill that in and make it smooth. But there won't be too much of that around. It'll still take a little bit of time, but We'll figure that out once we get everything sanded down. So you can see there's a fair amount of joint compound on the walls, but that's going to leave a lot of dust. So we're just going to clear as much of this out as we can and then have at it. So we started sanding the bonus room here, and it is going very well. You can see how smooth it is up on the top here. Actually, starting with the ceiling first, we got the first strip done there. That looks really good. We moved on to the second one here, and then we're on the third one. Trying to do top to bottom. So we're doing the ceiling first, and then we'll come down the side walls on each end. So far, there is very, very minimal spots that I need to go back through with joint compound. If you look really closely at the seam there, you might be able to see a little divot there. There's another one right up there. And that's where I've got that tape, that angle tape that's very thick. So I'll have to go through and put a little skim coat on that just so you don't see it. And then the other thing I noticed is, if you look closely at this seam here, you can see where the ridge line is. It's on the left-hand side there, it's kind of shaded dark. And on the right-hand side, it's a little lighter. That should actually be all flat, but it's actually ridged there, as opposed to this one over here, which is all flat, as you can see here. So we certainly don't want to paint over that. So I'm going to go back through after all this is sanded, or once the ceiling is done sanding, and go through with another coat, a full coat of joint compound. We'll let that dry, and then we'll sand that down. All that means is we're just going to feather it out more so it makes it look more flat. And then we'll sand that down, and it should look really good. But all in all, it's coming along very well. And there's a lot of sanding to do, but in just 2 hours or so, I got probably 15–20% done, which I'm kind of surprised at. Really good. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna need about 4 to 6 more hours of sanding, and then we will figure out where we are at getting ready to paint. So we're gonna cut it off from there. It is dinner time. We made chili for the first time this season, this year, and it's starting to get a little bit dark out, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this evening. So until next time, and we're gonna call this one a day, and then we will start a whole new update here. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out.